Welcome to NerdWord, where I talk about nerdy things using words. A while back, my pastor encouraged us to record our testimony. I made a short video, which I'll post on this channel. In that video, I said that science can't answer the question of if there is a God, but that I believe in God because of math and logic. I thought it might be worthwhile to explain how I came to that conclusion. For starters, I'd like to talk about science. Now, many of you may be thinking, sure, science isn't going to confirm that God exists. But we need to understand that being a believer does not contradict science. Science cannot exclude the possibility of God. Let's take a look at the scientific method. You've probably seen these steps before, maybe in grade school science class. I'd like to draw specific attention to a couple of points, though. A proper scientific hypothesis only needs to explain your observations. It also needs to make predictions and be falsifiable. That's right, not verifiable. It needs to be falsifiable. I had this physics professor who talked about the photovoltaic effect. He had a hypothesis that microscopic, invisible, undetectable dinosaurs lived in certain materials. When the dinosaurs saw light, they were happy and energetically wagged their tails. This knocked electrons free. Of course, this wasn't a real hypothesis, but if it had been, it wouldn't have been science. There's no way to falsify the existence of undetectable dinosaurs. Science is all about falsifying theories. Anytime you hear someone refer to scientific fact, you should be very skeptical. Even things like Newton's laws of motion are not fact. Actually, F equals ma was eventually falsified and replaced by Einstein's equations. We still teach and use Newton's laws because they are excellent approximations for non-relativistic motion, but they are far from fact. So God isn't an invisible dinosaur, but as a supernatural being, he is not falsifiable by scientific methods. Alternative theories suffer in a similar manner. For example, we talk about creation versus evolution. Specifically, we are talking about the type of Darwinian evolution that cannot be observed due to its proposed time frame. Although many people like to wave evolution around as the scientific alternative to God, it cannot be reproduced or observed. There is no way to test or falsify evolution. It is not science. In fact, Karl Popper, one of the most influential philosophers of modern times... Oh, wait, no, that's a picture of John Popper. I'm talking about Karl. Sorry about that. Never trust a cartoonist. Okay, so here's Karl Popper. Popper was famous in his support of the scientific method, and specifically, the idea that scientists should be working to falsify rather than confirm theories. Although Popper was an atheist and a believer in Darwinian evolution, he said that natural selection is not a testable scientific theory, but a metaphysical research program. I think he meant that the idea of evolution sets up a way of thinking that can lead to excellent scientific hypotheses. The same could be said for the belief in God. Popper later recanted this statement, although I've never heard how he proposed to test the idea of evolution. So let me wrap up this video by saying that a belief or disbelief in God is not confirmed or rejected by science. It is in fact not scientific hypothesis, rather a metaphysical research program. In my next video, we'll discuss propositional logic and how that plays a role in what you should believe. Thanks for tuning in.